Hey, brothers and sisters in Christ and people of YouTube. It's suddenly got quite warm today. I'm not used to it, eh? Like in my house, it's always freezing because of all the tiles, and yeah, it's just really warm all of a sudden. But maybe that's because I've been to the gym and I worked up a sweat. Um, I think I broke the machine because it was saying the heart rate was like 200 and something, and I'm like, oh, we can push that higher. I'm not sure it's healthy, but I'm sure we can. Um, but I think that one plays up all the times because like I only put it down like one level, and it dropped down to like 120, and I felt fine. So it was like, yeah, I don't think it's anything to worry about. Um, but yeah, uh, yeah, it's been a funny morning. Like I've just been too busy today, and things have been happening too quickly, and there's too many hours in the day because I wanted to go to work, and my boss was like, no, you can't start till 4 today. And he goes, please finish early tonight because you're going to be working all weekend. And I was like, I'll see what happens. Like, he just loves me and my work ethic. And it's good to hear back from someone that he's like, maybe you are doing too much. But I really enjoy it, and it doesn't even feel like work to me. Um, yeah, and just being out from the narcissist radar is really good. Like, it's really sad because these people act like they don't want you in their life, and they can't even organise a plan for when you break up with them. Like, they go to a lawyer, and the lawyer keeps telling them things like, oh, why don't you settle for this? Why don't you settle for that? Because each time I hear from this idiot, he's always got a different story, and it's like, the narcissist, why would they suddenly want to leave and then they want your house? Like, why? It doesn't make sense to me, but it's obvious that they haven't come up with a plan themselves. They've just kept it up to the lawyer because they can't even pay a bill by themselves. And yeah, and it's just like, this person has mostly moved out of the house and then just kind of hangs around like a bad smell. It's like, it's pretty obvious that you've got nothing else or nobody else, and you can't even afford to pay for this lawyer, and then you're stupid enough to get this lawyer. And I don't care if this lawyer's like someone that you got off a friend, or someone that you borrowed money for to get. It's just putting them in more and more debt, and they never think about it, and then they're thinking, oh, I'm just going to buy your house from under you. And it's like, well, how are you going to do that? Like, you don't realise how banks look at houses. Like, our house at the moment has about 240,000 owing on it, and it's like, that's a reasonable loan. Like, the bank would look at that and they would give you that loan. But once you start getting higher than that, even though they'll say, oh, your house is worth 550, there's not much equity in it past that. So it's like, they're not going to give you much more than that, because if something should happen and you can't afford to pay that, they'll be struggling to get that money out, because the bank doesn't want to sit there going through the market to get their money back. They'll just put it at auction, and if it sells for super cheap, they'll still sell it. So they don't want to lose their money. So once it starts creeping up to about 300,000, they're not going to look at you. And especially if you're like a single mum, whether you got two jobs or not, they're not going to look at that, especially when they're just part-time. And this person thinks they can absolve all the debt. They're going to suddenly start paying all the bills they haven't paid the whole time you've been together, like, the water, the rates, the electricity, all these things they've never paid, their phone bill that they've never paid. They really are just kid brains. Like, they've got no idea, eh? And yeah, like, I'm just not giving up my house. Like, I'd rather it burn to the ground than give them a cent, because the whole time I was with them, they were cheating on me. So it's just like, why would I give you something when you broke covenant? The whole time we're together, you never told the truth, even for things that were easy. You know, like it's just ridiculous. So yeah, I just think it's funny that they would want to play these games, like, because the thing is, like, they've got a new supply now, they've got a source of money because they're going through this other person. Why keep the old supply stuck? It's like, you know, I wasn't good enough for them. Why keep coming back into my life? Like, just end it like an adult would. But they're too childish to do it. And she says to a lawyer, like, I contributed too. And it's like, what? With sleeping around, stealing, and lying through your teeth. How does that contribute to a relationship? Just tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, you know? I think the funniest thing about all of it is the narcissist thinks they can keep going the way they're going, just functioning on no sleep, taking a bunch of pills to get some sleep, pushing down their guilt, and keeping 2 jobs while trying to manage to be a single mum as well. And all these things are just going to work out for them. And the fact they don't know how to pay bills, they're just going to be able to figure it out on their own. They're real childish, and they never seem to put 2 and 2 together. And the fact that even if the bank does lend you money, like, getting the loan is just part of it. Then you've got to pay it back. And even though interest rates have dropped slightly, the more money you owe, the more you got to pay back weekly. And when you're paying back like $400 a week, that's manageable. But when it turns into $700, $800 a week, and then you've got to pay, like, you know, rates, bills, water, especially the narcissist doesn't know how to not waste water. Like, when I was living by myself, I might get a water bill like $70, you know, $100 at the most. And with them, it's like 300 and something every like couple of months. And it's just like, what are you doing? How are you wasting so much water? Like, even when I had the sprinklers running, like, we never use that much water, but they just like take these infinitely long showers, and they just love to waste water. Like, they'll go in the kitchen and they'll just be forever washing dishes, like, especially since leaving the narcissist. It's like a 3-hour marathon of washing dishes. It's like, what are you really doing in there? Like, it's crazy. Yeah, so it's like, it's just a fairy tale that they're living. And it's almost like she only got the lawyer to create drama. Like, if I just keep creating drama for this person, he'll come back to me, like, because it'll be too much hard work for him. But I'll never go back to this person because of the just the magnitude of bad things they did to me. Not to mention, I didn't even mention the witchcraft and the black magic. I've shied away from that a bit now, but just the fact she was casting spells on me every day, putting stuff into my food, and just being an absolute evil person. Like, you know, this is not how you treat someone you love. This is not how you treat your husband. This person never should have got married in the first place, because they're not the sort of person that should get married. Like, it's like, if you marry a prostitute, you get what you expect from the prostitute. Like, if they go around trying to earn tricks on their time off, then, you know, you can say, well, I shouldn't have married a prostitute. That's just how it is. And with a narcissist, if they'd told you, yeah, I'm essentially a prostitute, you would not have married them either. And that's the sad thing about it, you know. Like, you get married for the right intentions, you meet someone and they make this false identity up, and then you get stuck for years with them because they just don't want to let go. And that's the sad codependent thing they have. Like, they're so fragile and cowardly and lacking confidence that the only way they get confidence is through you. Like, if you're confident, they're confident. But once you leave, like, all that confidence goes, and they just start unraveling, but they don't want to let you go, and it's like they don't take any accountability. Like, they just come back as if nothing's happened. They just stick to their routines. Coming home at this certain time of night, doing dinner at this time of night. Like, they just pretend that they're somebody else. Like, oh no, I didn't sleep with all those men. That was Trixie, my other alter ego. So they're really really hard to deal with, because it's like, this person is not your blood relative. They're not your kin, but they want to act like it. Like, they want to come back as if you've got a real close relationship with them. And it's like, once you realize that you never had a relationship with them, you had a relationship with that person that they sold you, the illusion, it's pretty easy to kick them to the curb and leave. And the best thing for me was, I just followed the scriptures. Like, God basically says through Paul that if a woman that is not of your religion leaves you when you're married, you are free from them. And the narcissist was far from a Christian. They were still Buddhist. They were still into their voodoo. They were into all these different gods. So they were never a child of God. Even though I did take mine to get baptized, she lied about it. So God's not going to give her the Holy Spirit. And and not just that, she committed adultery and fornication all through the marriage. So it's like, that's the two instances where you can be released from your marriage. And God hates marriages to end. And I've had Christian brothers that just don't understand narcissism, saying, oh, you should just work on your wife, just pray for her, and and then it'll be all right. And I'll be like, how's your marriage? Well, I've been married for a million years, but my wife still won't show me any affection. And it's like, well, who are you to talk? Like, what sort of life is that? Your partner should cleave to you, and you should become one flesh. But how can you become one flesh when they're one flesh with everyone else in town? Like, it creates soul ties, and you end up destroying your own soul. It says, he who commits adultery destroys his own soul. God doesn't mince his words, and the narcissists, like, when they finally do leave, it's a real blessing. And I think it's only going to happen when God moves her on and actually hides me. At some point, God's just going to move me somewhere else when my inheritance comes in. And I know God's blessed me, and I know money's coming in, and I know things are going to change. But it's just the meantime, like, having this person in the background, it's like having a fly that won't leave you alone when you're going for a walk. It's a persistent pest. And all glory be to God, but even all the bad things she's done to me, I can see the blessings in my life. Like, I've got a good job now, I've got a good circle of people, and I'm slowly rebuilding my circle, because I didn't really have one in Geraldton. And I only had people the narc would let me hang out with. Like, what they'll do is, if they're jealous of you and they don't want you to hang out with someone, they'll slander them, and then they'll point the finger at you and say, oh no, he's just emotionally unstable, that's why he doesn't want to talk to you. So they'll turn their wicked deeds against you. And and all those idiots that follow the narcissists, that think they're the best person in the world, all those people turn against you too, because of the lies and the doubt and the insinuations they made against you, and how they doctor photos, they doctor videos, they change all this stuff just to get their point across, and those people follow them. And then you realise, hey, I never needed any of these people. They weren't worth my time, and now I can rebuild my circle with people that aren't even connected to the narcissist, and the people I'm connecting with are the sort of people that aren't gonna like just listen to lies and accept the narcissist point of view. They're just gonna say, well, I know this guy, and we love him, and like literally God's sending me the right people that are not going to put up with the BS, and that's a sad thing. This person already has other people she's sleeping with, and it's like, but then she also doesn't want you to have anyone. It's like, it's really sad, and it is like that movie Misery with Kathy Bates. It's like being the writer and how she hobbled his legs because she didn't want him to go anywhere, and he had to kill her with the typewriter. Like he had to literally kill her. He wasn't a murderer, but he had to turn into one because the narcissist gave him no choice. And this is sort of like what they're like. They're just they're forever in your face, trying to make you snap, and they want to control everything. And they, that the happiest the narcissist would be is if you were homeless and they could just be like, see, I told you, he was good for nothing. And even while you're homeless, they would be obsessed with you, still following you around. Because I tell you what, even if I was homeless, I would still have a smile on my face because it'd be the most freeing thing in the world. I wouldn't be around with them and they couldn't target me anymore. And that's the thing, like they don't realise that people that are survivors, like real survivors like me that have had a tough life, we don't need much to survive and we can rebuild ourselves. But in saying that, that doesn't mean I'm just going to give up my house to them, my inheritance from my family and everything I've worked for, just because this dirty stop out can't keep her legs crossed. Like if she's going to go root around, get the money off them. Don't come after me for money. Go after the new person that was willing to sleep with you knowing that you were married. If a guy's willing to sleep with you and he knows you're married, he's quality, isn't he? He's real quality. I mean, seriously, what do you think's going to happen later down the line? You're over 40, you sleep with someone that's willing to sleep with you that's married, he's going to do the same to you. He's literally probably already doing it. And so the narcissist just ends up getting back what they put out, and I might have been bitten once by her, but I'm going to find someone quality, and I'm not going to put up with the same things I put up with her. I'll tell you that now, because it's one thing. She's taught me a lot of things. She's helped me to grow and see what people are really like, and I can see for a fact that she will never change. She's unrepentant and she'll never listen to God, because to listen to God, it will be death for her pride and ego, because she bases her whole life on her appearance, and her appearance is aging and fading, especially now that she doesn't have the grace of God. She's withering, she's dying, and it doesn't matter what she does, doesn't matter what lawyers she goes to, she can't change that fact that she's withering and dying, and she's aging rapidly because of the fact that she's trying to keep it all going, like the 2 jobs, seeing the lawyer, going and seeing all these people, trying to get me in trouble, trying to pay all these people to do wicked things in the background to further her cause. Like it's exhausting to keep these things going, and it's exhausting to keep the lies going. Instead of being a genuine and authentic person, she chooses to live this way, and it's killing her, and it's going to kill her. And the demons that are inside of her are quite happy to be killing her, because they're like, well, we had a good run with her, but she's getting old now, and why don't we, for a last bang effort, we'll mess her up, and then we'll get a younger model. Because these demons are eternal, like they have lived for thousands of years, and they're patient, but they know when a good thing comes to an end, and they end it. Like they don't work for her; she works for them, and she doesn't realise that. She doesn't realise how demonised she is, and how little choices she makes that are actually her own choices. So God bless all of you. Remember, Jesus loves you. I love you. And have a blessed day in Jesus' name.